Welcome to Blue Friday Bets, the only Seahawks only gambling show in the multiverse. And of course, it's part of the Seahawkers Podcast Network. I'm your host, Clinton Bonner. I am joined by my co-host and very good buddy, Mr. Adam Emmerich. Adam, Week 7, Monday Night Foosball. How you doing, bud?
Hey, it's going to be fun. Can't wait for prime time with our Seahawks. But Clinton, if you're a 12 that just clicked on this and you're like, I'm not into betting. I don't know anything about betting. Why in the world would I listen to the show? Is there I don't know, maybe a little benefit you can get from watching this that doesn't include just odds and things like that?
Yes, there's a lot of benefits. First of all, it's a little game within a game. It's a lot of fun. We just put it up on screen there on youtube.com/Seahawkers Podcast for the audio listeners out there. But look, it's another form of analysis. We're going to get into these little nooks, these little crannies of what the game could be, which when you're looking at these prop bets and parlay bets, that's what it's all about. Who's going to stay under? How's the Seahawks defense going to flex against this wobbly Texans offense? Can JSN go against Stingy and break out and continue to be a top 3, top 2, top 1 receiver in the NFL? So it's just another way to raise the hawker, Adam, and investigate this upcoming game. And oh, by the way, along it, if you want to put a little Scotto on it and ride along, well, so be it. Maybe you'll learn something too. How'd I do?
You did great, and you take us right into how we bet imaginary dollars on this show.
Yeah, so for those that are new to Blue Friday Bets, it is a game. We have a lot of fun. We go head-to-head, mano-y-mano each and every week. And look, it's 4 rounds, or 4 downs, if you will. Bet 1, bet 2, bet 3, $10 a piece. You could bet anything on the board. Odds don't matter. You're just trying to win, right? And we'll go through that. Bet 4 is the Fail Mary. There's a little bit of rules against this one. It's only $1 bet, the Sunday rubber, the Sunday scratcher, and it must be plus 1,200 or longer odds to qualify. And if you don't know about gambling, plus 1,200 means you bet $1 to win at least $12. So it's a long shot is what it boils down to.
Very long shot.
Yes,
Yeah.
A couple times a year we hit those, right? So that is the gameplay. So last week, in fact, I get the crown back. We put that on screen. I am the Blue Friday Bets champion, but I'm not exactly doing a huge Cadillac trot here, Adam. I only went 1 for 3 with the regular bets, but you took it over, dude.
Yeah, that's unacceptable. I feel let down, and when they kicked that field goal, the short one, I was like, come on, that was the gimme on the board. I have to hit that one, but nope. Was not allowed to. So Give up the crown to you this week. But hey, man, I want you to feel confident in the early part of the season and start feeling yourself a little bit before I drop the betting hammer. So it's coming. It's coming. I'm letting it simmer for a while. So enjoy, bask in it, all of it.
You know what? I think I already made a unforced error. You deserve a check mark next to bet 1. So you didn't go you didn't go 0 for 3 in your regular bets. That any team unanswered 3 times in a row.
That's true.
The Seahawks did do that. So, okay, you deserve a check there. You went 1 for 3 also. I still win because the one that I did hit on, which I thought was frankly the most important key to the game, was Sam Darnold not having to pass that many times. It was at plus 32.5. I took the under against that number at plus 102 odds. And I think he only threw the ball 27 times, I believe, against the Jaguars. So that hits, and that's a very nice sweet spot for our Seahawks. Love that. I'll take the crown. Not the best week, but that's A-okay. That is A-okay. But as we rotate back to week 7 now, that means I'm on the tee box. I get honors. I'm going to lead us out. You ready?
I'm ready. Yeah, lead us off here.
All right, perfect. So, look, JSN is the talk of the town. He is the talk of the NFL all of a sudden. And last night, we're recording this on Friday. Last night, we watched the 40-year-old Joe Flacco spam bot Jamar Chase, right? Over and over. Did you get to watch that game, by the way? Or at least
I did not. I actually just opened up an article about an hour ago and started reading about that game, and I was like, wait, what?
And he was good. Flacco was straight good. It was good Flacco, and it was great Jamar. So we're going, and JSN's going up against Stingy, and Stingy is a very good DB, and the Texans defense, this is a good team. This is a good defense. With that, listen, I listened to Matt Hasselbeck get on with Nemhauser this week, and Matt Hasselbeck said, look, when you got a primary receiver going up against a really good DB, what you want to do early is within your first 15 plays, your first 12 plays, is you want to get at least 2 to 3 I was not attempts, 2 or 3. What are those things called? You pass them this way and it's going to that. Targets. It's called targets.
Yeah.
I literally forget every single time. You want to get 2 to 3 targets in your first script to your wide receiver 1 because you want to figure out, is Stingley going to travel? What is their plan for JSN? You really want to unlock that piece of knowledge as swiftly in the game as you possibly can. So I say all that to say JSN over 16.5 yards receiving within that first quarter at minus 120. I'm taking the little bit of knowledge from Hasselback and saying, I trust that guy. I trust JSN. And I even trust Vegas. They think it's minus 120. I like this as bet number 1. What do you think?
Yeah, they feel fairly confident about it at minus 120 here. Now, with that said, usually these do something in the 1 quarter bets. It's such a truncated amount of time that it really does make me nervous because all it takes is for the opposing team, in this case, is to have one long drive that goes down the field and basically sucks all the time off the clock, and you barely get a shot out there, and it gets tough to hit. But with that said, I like this bet because I don't think the Texans are going to be doing much of long drives that chew up a lot of clock. I do not think that that's going to be something that happens. I think you're probably going to have at least 2 drives worth of opportunity here for the Seahawks. And if that's the case, it's hard to imagine JSN not getting 17 yards at some point during that quarter.
I like it. All right, take us away. What is your bet number 1?
Alrighty, man. Well, my bet is for CJ Stroud to be under 1.5 passing, or basically 2 passing TDs, but the number's 1.5 at minus 172. The payout would be 1581 on that. And this is kind of my first down bet, my safety, but there's a few things in life that I think you can set a clock to, especially in the NFL world. And one of them is if you suck in the trenches on one side of the ball and the other guys are really freaking good, it's over. Like, you're just going to get just absolutely mollywomped at that point. I think CJ Stroud's going to have himself a really difficult day, and to get all the way up to 2 passing touchdowns feels unbelievably unlikely to me. So I've got the under here, minus 172. Not big odds, but I think the likelihood of this is through the roof.
Well, Vegas is with you. I'm with you. The 12s are with you. Last night, I actually ended up taking a little bit of real life action because, on like FanDuels and everything else, they'll give you like, a 30% profit boost. And I've been on a bit of a heater. I've been doing pretty well, just using those and taking like, okay, this is like a 50-50 bet, goosing it a bit. So last night, I took Aaron Rodgers to throw over 2 touchdowns, just 2 or more, I should say. And that paid some decent little money. So I made a little money on that. But so it's one of those you never know in the NFL. And with that, there's a reason this is minus 172. It's been a very sluggish start for the Texans so far through 5 games. Yes, they got their poop in a group against the terrible Ravens team, and in the 4th quarter against a terrible Titans team. The rest of it's been tough slaying. So I hope you're right. I also think Stroud can pick apart the Seahawks if we just sit in zone, which we play a lot of zone. So I'll be watching for that early. All that being said, hopefully he stays under those 2 touchdowns and you're cashing this. I hope it comes true for you, buddy. All right, bet number 2 might be my favorite bet. It just, I know that you have to go use DraftKings and sometimes you can't access, or not even sometimes you just cannot access FanDuel.
It says straight up no. MGM says no. They all say no.
Doesn't let you do it. I have FanDuel, and they have this thing called the Your Way play, where you could like just literally yard by yard or reception by reception toggle something. So I went on there and I find this little ditty, right? So a little ditty about Jack and Diane, or a little ditty about Sam and Mr. AJ Barner. You know my love for AJ Barner. So 32 or more receiving yards. This goes all the way up to 142 to get to 32. Okay, so how many times in this year do you think AJ Barner has gone to or over 32 receiving yards?
Boy, that's tough. I'm going to say 3.
It is exactly 3. Do you know the times he has gone over or exactly 32 receiving yards? Which weeks some guess?
Last week would be one.
Would that be one? Yeah. That'd be one.
Jeez.
The week before that, he had 7 receptions. So
That's true. Okay. Yeah. Okay.
And
So
I'll just fill in
against
the
Bucks.
blank for you. So, and against the Cardinals, he had exactly 32. The last 3 weeks, he has done it 3 times out of 6, but he's done it the last 3 weeks. I like that to be 4 weeks. 32 receiving yards is not that much. And if they're going to pay so much attention to JSN, well, then I think A.J. Barner's open a few more times than not. What do you think?
Hey, you just said 3 weeks in a row. Once is a coincidence, twice is a trend, 3 times is you problem. Like, book it. Like, and I'd love to see it too, because the more that we get AJ Barner involved, and you talked a little bit on what if when we talked about rookies, and we're going to have a little short teaser come out for you here about why Torrey Horton might be somebody that you look at for this game as well, and the importance of getting other people involved. And getting A.J. Barner going early and often is going to be good for this offense on Monday. It's going to be good for this offense in week 12. Like, just keep it rolling.
Very good. All right. So you take us away. You got bet number 2. Where are you going, bud?
All right. So on my bet number 2, Clinton, I goosed it. To use your phraseology here.
I love it.
Seahawks are supposedly only 3-point favorites in this game. So just the regular Vegas line for this game would be Seahawks minus 3 points on the day. Look, I think they score at least a touchdown, and I think it's going to be unbelievably tough sledding for this Texans offense. It's going to be a rough day. So I goose it to minus 5.5 points for the Seahawks. So they just got to win by 6 or more points. That gets me plus 125 odds. And I don't know what the payout would be on that because I didn't put it into the daily, but it'd be more.
That's easy. It's
$12.50, right?
$12.50. Yeah, that's easy math, man. $12.50. So
there's no such thing. But at the end of the day,
not today. Yeah.
I'm going big on the defense this week because I love what I saw of the pass rush last week, and that was against a offensive line that had been touted as playing above their skis, punching above their weight, had been better this year, and they took them behind the woodshed for the entire game. Now we got a Texans team that's coming in that was god awful for 3 weeks and 3 quarters. Get their poop in a group for a quarter against a terrible team, and then they play an awful team the next week and look a little better. I'm not buying it. I think they're awful. It's going to be difficult there. Plus, we get a ton of our secondary players back, and I think that's a big deal. Guys are practicing. It's looking like, Love, Spoon, Woolen on track to be back. You get the secondary healthy here, combine it with that front 7. I love it. I think the Seahawks probably win big. Honestly, I feel like I could have goosed this to about 10 and felt pretty comfortable.
Wow. So some big goosing going on there, which I adore. I still think this game's tighter than this. I understand the goose, but that's why the goose is there. By the way, what I wrote down, I'm so excited because the listeners will have already heard this because I'm going to go back and edit this, but I just wrote down add goose noises. So when we edit this, I'm going to just goose the crap out of the noises. There's going to be so many goose noises in this thing now, and now it's going to be a thing. So
God, the beautiful song of the Canadian goose. It's majestic.
Yeah, it's majestic. It's majestic. I hope, look, if this hits, fantastic. I'll celebrate with you. I think this is going to be tighter than this. I do not think the Texans...
Book it, dude. This is hitting.
I hope so. I don't think the Texans stink. I also think they started
just one position group.
I understand. I think they started the season with a brand new OC, and I think they've already made some changes that have done some positive things. And yes, against some crap opponents, but it was still looking better. I think we win, but I think the goose might get cooked on this one. All right, I'm going to take it to bet number 3, and this is where you and I have a similar theme on this one. So, look, I actually think Christian Kirk is a pretty good wide receiver in the NFL. I do. They're going to try to get the ball to Nico Collins a decent amount. I like Dalton Schultz enough as a tight end. But I could get plus 159 if the Seahawks keep Christian Kirk basically to 2 receptions or under. Adam, do you know how many receptions Christian Kirk has on the youngish 2025 season? They played 5 games.
13 and a half. And I know you don't have half receptions, but I feel like that should have happened for Kirk.
Sure. It's under that. He has 10. He's got 10 now. I'm not sure if there was any games missed, and maybe he did.
Sounds like a pretty good receiver.
Yeah, I think he's actually okay. But either way, he's got 10 receptions on the year. He's a fine NFL receiver. He's fine. He's fine. Either way, I like getting plus 159 just to see this line be like, oh, I don't know, 2 for 21 and harmless 21 yards, and I'm cashing, making $10 into 15.90. What do you think?
Look, I like betting on Kirk failures because I've been watching this guy his entire career. This is a below average wide receiver who continues to get opportunities and get paid like he's something. I can't understand it. I haven't ever seen him be consistently good for more than like 2 weeks at a time. He's not a great receiver. It never has been and never will be.
He's not great. He's not.
And he's not even just a guy. He's below just a guy level. So 3 receptions or less, I think that's a pretty good chance because, like you said, my third down bet ties into this.
Yeah, let's go to it. Let's go.
Yeah. So I've got a parlay here of Christian Kirk to go under 35.5 yards and for Chubb to be under 34.5 yards rushing. And the reason here is that, it's tough to get receptions and receiving yards when your quarterback is on his ass. And I think that CJ Stroud, not immobile, but not the most mobile either, behind a sieve of an offensive line. And don't get it twisted, Clinton. I went back and watched stuff. I went back and found rankings from a bunch of different people, including PFF. They are a bottom 3 unit, bottom 3 or 4 unit.
Not bottom third, not bottom third, bottom 3.
Bottom 3.
Look, the left-hand side of the line's a disaster. I think their right-hand side is okay, like pretty good.
That's right, and that equates to catfish. Terrible. That's what that equals when it's all said and done. So I parlay these two together. I get plus 246, and at the end of the day, I make 24.60 when this hits. And the defense smothers the hell out of this Texans offense because you can't do squat with your adjustments as an OC or your time to release the ball or any of that stuff when the pass rush is on you like flies on stink. Like, good luck, CJ Stroud.
Look, we're going to need, and we know we want, but, wanting and needing are different sometimes. This time we want and we need that Seahawks defense that pressured the crap out of Lawrence to show up at home on Monday Night Football. It was different versus Baker, and it's interesting, right?
Better offensive line, and still Baker probably a bit more escapability than Stroud too. Just kind of has that. He's not Lamar Jackson, but he's a little bit more escapable than Stroud. Stroud could boogie a little bit too. It's funny. It's like I'd put Baker maybe a smidgen above Stroud, and then but both of them above Lawrence for sure, and just quarterbacking in general. So I'm just like, what kind of result are we going to get? And I think you're centering on the game right here, man, especially the Chubb part. The ability to stop the run and then get Stroud either flustered or on the ground a bunch of times. So look, 34.5 yards, it doesn't seem like a lot, but our run D has been good. And Nick Chubb is going to get spelled the same way that Charbonnet comes in for K9 a lot. They got Woody Marks. He's a rookie. He gets a decent amount of touches too. So you might be looking at this being like, oh, Nick Chubb, 34.5, that seems super low. It's not really all that low. Of the two, I think that one is in more danger of busting. And with that's why it's plus 246, man. That's a beautiful, beautiful spread there. Big swings for third down.
That's it. No risk, no biscuit.
It takes big balls to get blue chips, buddy.
That's it. All right. So Fail Mary is yours because I went first. You take the Fail Mary. Take it away, bud.
Okay. Well, Fail Marys are often difficult to find, and especially something that you may or may not believe in. So this obviously goes against like everything that I talked about so far in this show, but that's the whole point. It's a hedge. It's a hedge against maybe this breaks out into a shootout like Bucs Seahawks for like no reason when you have two really good teams.
Or Steelers Bengals on a random Thursday night.
For like no reason. Yeah, exactly. So I've got each team to score a touchdown and a field goal in each half. So they're going to score 10 points in each half, both teams, plus 1,700. We'll see.
Yeah, it's kind of it's spread out one, and this is, again, it's plus 1,700, so it's a long, long shot. But the kind of game that I'm actually kind of expecting, like I had predicted, I think 20-16 on the What If show with Mr. Phil, our preview show. So I actually kind of think this is kind of what's going to be this little bit of a slugfest back and forth. I don't want this to hit though, so I'm going to stop right there and just say I don't want this to hit. I want our Seahawks to not allow the Texans to score this often, because that's a little too often for my liking, Adam.
Look, obviously I don't think it's a 0% chance, but it's like a 5% chance that the Texans offense functions to the tune of 20 total points. Like there's just fundamentals of football that are just unbreakable, and being dominated in the trenches is one of them. Because Clinton, I look at this matchup, you know what I see? I see the spoon game against the Giants from a couple years ago.
Oh, that would be so lovely. That'd be so. A very quick aside. The other day, somebody posted the video of Antonio Brown when he does like the striptease in the end zone, right? With the Tampa Bay Jets game. So I am sitting in the right corner. I went with my buddy Vincenz, shout out Chenz. He is a big Patriots fan. He wanted to go see Brady and Gronk play one more time. We went to that game. I'm at the Meadowlands, right corner of that end zone, while Antonio Brown decides to take off his clothes. So I'm there for that. Then, or whatever the order is, Spoon rookie year, the Giants game where Spoon goes bananas. He has the pick six. He has the sack. Spoon gets his interception right in front of my face, basically, and takes it back to the house. I'm sitting in the right corner of the Meadowlands right there to see that, to witness that, and he takes it the other direction. I'm also at last year's game, I think it is. Yeah. It's last year, with Leo Williams picking off Aaron Rodgers and taking it back 90 something yards. And I'm in the right corner of the Meadowlands end zone, and Leo is running directly at Wilson and I. So I've been in that corner of that end zone the last 3 times, and something epic has happened each and every time. So when you bring that up, it certainly stirs some really cool memories. But oh man, I got to get back to the right corner of that end zone when our Seahawks play is, I think, the lesson there, Adam.
Oh yeah, out in Lumen East. You betcha.
Exactly.
Yeah, that's a fantastic other home stadium. I like our record there better recently than maybe even at our own Lumen.
Yes, yeah. Lumen East Rutherford treats us very, very kindly. All right, I've got a Fail Mary that everybody could get behind. This is nothing we got to be squeamish about. Nothing we got to be squinting our eyes and hoping it doesn't happen. Every Seahawks fan's going to hope this happens. So let's get right to it. We got JSN at 8+ receptions and the first touchdown of the game. It gives you plus 1239. That's kind of fun to say. Obviously, the first touchdown is a long shot, always high variance. 8+ receptions. Vegas has him at like 7.5. So that's like basically right on the line. I am very interested to see all week long. I'm like, the Texans podcast I'm listening to, Adam, it's just like, oh, well, we'll just put Stingley on and we'll travel and we'll just shut him down. We'll just shut him down. We'll just take JSN out of the game. And I'm sitting there going, will you? Will you just take JSN out of the game? And the thing is, I don't know. I think JSN, not just being like, okay, he could be that guy. He's emerging as that true, you can't stop me number one. Adam, how delightful would it be if during this game, you're like, dude, you're intending to stop him, like Jalen Ramsey intended to stop Jamar Chase last night. And at the end of it, you're sitting there being like, yeah, you just got like 9 more receptions, 140 something more yards. And no matter what you do, you're not stopping JSN in the year 2025. How fun might that be?
It would be a ball. And logically speaking, everything that you talk about there in the expectations of what could happen in this game all makes sense as far as JSN having yet another big day. The way the offense is structured, in the way they're using JSN, makes it so multiple that you can't just shut a guy down in theory. Now, with that said, I'm not superstitious, but I'm a little stitious. And when we get to this point of the year and one of your players is getting just crazy like hype and pumped up in the national media like JSN has gotten this week, and rightfully so, he deserves every bit of it because he's been awesome. That stuff makes me incredibly nervous. It always feels like the football gods are like, hey, 12s, you know how you had a fun toy for a minute? No, we're taking that away for a second. So that's the only thing that makes me nervous. That, and obviously I had a hard time betting on offensive outcomes for the Seahawks in this game because the Texans defense is really good.
Yep.
It's legitimately very good. So will he get to 8 receptions and all that? Hard telling, not knowing, but it would be a proof of concept, a proof of leveling up for JSN if he can come out of this game and have those big-ish type numbers that we've seen all year.
100%. So our Seahawks are going to look to go to 5-2. We're looking to rack up some Blue Friday bets. Folks, drop your comments, drop your favorite bets of the week, whether it's one of our 8 bets you want to circle or you want to throw your own favorite picks or parlays in there. Let us know what you're thinking. Drop those in the comments. Of course, remember to like, you got to subscribe, hit the hype.
Absolutely. I love it. And I think we're going to be signing a win at the end of Monday night, Clinton.
And I think with that,
There's only one thing left to say.
go Hawks.
Go Hawks.